Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 2020 Driver Career with Alfa Romeo, episode number 89 for the final time on F1 2020. 100% race around Brazil as well. Yes, I can't believe that we're considering the fact we've managed to get 18. I've managed to get 89 episodes out of this series. I don't think that's too bad for a part-time YouTuber. But anyway, moving towards then Brazil. I mean, we're not really going to be putting any upgrades on the car because there's literally no point. So we've got the maximum amount of upgrades now that we could have on the car. But yes, without a doubt, let's move to Sao Paulo for the final time, for the final race of this career mode.
I've been skipping a lot of practice sessions lately. Keep in mind that practice is useful to get used to the track, improve your car setups, and also helps us gather data for car development. Make sure you don't jeopardize your results by taking these sessions too lightly.
Nice little cameo performance from Carl there to say goodbye, because of course he is departing, because we got the bloke called Ethan. I don't know if he has been trained on how to on practice sessions, but we'll find out, of course, starting next week. But anyway, we have those upgrades have finally come through, the two repurchased ones, so we're now the 5th fastest car on the grid behind the big 4 really in this series. So yes, let's see what we can do. We've got full qualifying as well, so can we get out of Q1? I mean, it would be so typical if we weren't to get out of Q1, although the car should be able to get out of Q1 being the 5th fastest on paper. But yes, as that's typical in this series, my qualifying has gone absolutely down the drain and we're in 16th place. That's 16th place in the drop zone. Not making it out. Mr. Saturday, of course, George Russell is way up in front. He's going to make it through. But for me, I'm having to make another set of burners, another set of soft tyres, just trying to make it out of Q1. I mean, I know I'm good at Brazil, but my qualifying pace has been absolutely woeful on this game, and I'm hoping that on F1 2021 the qualifying pace against the race pace at least is more consistent. Up to the line then, what's this going to be? It's a 1 minute 6 point something or other, and it's only enough for P16. So much for the running full qualifying then, because we're out in Q1. Mr. Saturday there himself up into P12. We'll see what he can do. We'll see what we can do. For one final time, it's time for the race, today's Brazilian Grand Prix.
Formula One returns to Sao Paulo once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Brazilian Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his 3rd championship here in 2012, and in 2016 Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7 mile circuit. 2 very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junção into one of the 2 DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now, let's talk about Charles Leclerc. What a season they've had. A well-deserved championship victory, and the pressure now surely off, with the title already in the bag.
It really is well-deserved. I wouldn't say it's been a faultless title challenge, but certainly one that has been consistent and well-managed. Here's hoping they let off a bit of steam today and give us an exciting race.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and it's Pierre Gasly in P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Vettel, Kevin Magnussen, and Verstappen, Bottas, Norris, Russell, and Antonio Giovinazzi, Ocon, Giotto, Nicholas Latifi, and Kvyat, and Alfa Romeo, Joe, Alexander Albon, and Lance Stroll, De Vries, and Nobuharu Matsushita. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Jeff literally got nothing else to say. But anyway, yes, I don't know. We could do. We start on P15 actually because of a penalty to Albon. I was thinking about trying to do a one-stop from medium to hards, but it looks like that's slower. So we're going to do a two-stop. Eventually, settling for to do the soft medium in the middle. Interesting that we're doing less laps on the mediums, more laps on the softs, so in each of the stints, so that's something too interesting. There's 5 lights right there, and away we go, and it's a good start. We're going to switch to the left of Kvyat in the Williams, try and go down the inside of Giotto and Norris there in the McLaren. Can we get down the inside? We're going to swoop across through the second of the centre S's. Yes, we can, and we moved up into the top 10. We got a warning for contact with Norris there, as we now of course jump through the laps of the early stages, and Max Verstappen is holding off Valtteri Bottas as well. So those lots are slow. You can see here we run a little bit of 2 Bottas on board. He tries to go around the outside but couldn't do that, but eventually a lap later, of course, DRS is now enabled, so Bottas is going to go up trying to go around the outside of Verstappen, and he is comfortably through. Verstappen has had a great career mode since about season 4 when he was world champion, and since then he's just been not the Verstappen we know in real life. As Charles Leclerc, he's dominated this season. He's winning comfortably, well, not comfortably because he's got Gasly right behind him. Those two have been consistently at the front so far this season, as we're catching up to Verstappen. Have a go at the inside. No, we can't. And we retain P8 as Russell unfortunately has fallen behind Giovinazzi. He's currently outside the points, but we'll see where everything's going. Lap 9, we're closing once again up to Verstappen. This time we're going to go down the inside, and this time we're going to force our way through. Thank you very much. We can't be stuck behind Verstappen too much longer, and up into P7. This was a clean overtake. It was just Verstappen really didn't want to give us the space in the end, but in the end I just kept my foot in, and Verstappen sort of went too wide, and a little bit of understeer kicking in for him. I couldn't really though break away from Verstappen and the Norris, which was annoying, and our engineers come over the radio. Jeff has said that the tyre wear is good for a 1-stop, not a 2-stop, from soft to medium, so it is actually very good, but it's about 1% a lap tyre wear. So there will be some people 2-stopping and some people 1-stopping. So we're gonna 1-stop. Sainz and I think that's Magnussen are coming out of the pits. They're 2-stopping definitely. So we're gonna come out ahead of them now into P3. This is legitimately for the race. Obviously, although we are both got to make one final stop, so as Sainz is all over the back of me into the middle sector, Verstappen sort of clinging on these. The problem is that Sainz has come into the gap between me and Verstappen, and he's just bringing Verstappen along with him. As we watch now, Gasly is out. Is he going to be? He's coming out. He's done the undercut on Leclerc, and he's going to be ahead of the Ferrari. So Leclerc has been undercut by Gasly, although Leclerc is on the soft tyres. Gasly leads on medium tyres, those two in a world of their own. We've got Sainz and Vettel now as we jump to lap 27. Sainz having another go up the hill into the middle sector, nothing doing there. We retain P3. But Sainz, of course, isn't going to get that. Isn't giving up. Of course, he needs to get past to clear us if he wants to have a chance of gaining a solitary race victory. As Sainz is out in his final race, Sainz is out, and that's going to bring out the safety car. And we're going to come in. We're going to change it up a bit. As I say, although the tyre wear is low on those softs, I think I'm going to play it safe. We're going to go to the end on hards. We'll see what they are. I've seen in other people's career modes anyway, the hard tyres aren't that bad around here. but bearing in mind I haven't done 100% race in this career mode at all, so I don't know what the tyre wear on the mediums or the hards would be like around here. We're going to come out behind our teammate, unfortunately, so that's going to be P10. Nice to see George he's been overtaken by the other Renault of Giovinazzi, so that's really annoying for him. But Gasly, of course, still leads ahead of Leclerc. Both of them got one stop to go. There's a Haas car, I think that's Mashuchisa, who's been lapped. His race is pretty much over now. Interesting though, I had a little bit of a glitch. The safety car said it was coming in at the end of lap 30, except it didn't come in at the end of lap 30. So we had to do another lap around behind the safety car. I thought it would glitch and we'd just be behind the safety car for another 40 laps. Fortunately, it didn't. The safety car did eventually come at the end of lap number 31, and we're trying to have a look around the inside of Russell. There's Mashuchisa trying to get out of the way in the Haas car, but Russell has the better traction on those soft tyres coming through the center S's. But of course, we're playing the long game. We've still got another 39 laps to go in this race as we get ahead of the Haas car. But now, of course, we jump to lap 45. Now the two stoppers are coming to make their final stop, and yes, although Russell and co sailed off into the sunset, I feel like we've got an advantage. There's Bottas. Vettel's come out ahead, so we're not going to get a podium, unfortunately, in our final race, but we're still on for a very good result. Might be P5 is probably what the best we can do. We've got Bottas as we jump to lap 51 all over the back of us now in the Mercedes car. Norris has come out behind. That little other whatever you call that colour of red that the Alfa Romeo has, dot on the mini map, that is George Russell. So George is at the back of this train that we have caused. So in hindsight, maybe a two-stop might have been better, but at the same time, we're trying to roll the dice with the one stop a little bit to see if we get a podium. It hasn't quite worked. Ferraris and AlphaTauris are far too arse. Had a look at Bottas, had a look at us with the DRS a lot, like he did on Verstappen. Didn't work out for him, and he gets actually through the center S's, gets overtaken by Lando Norris, as Charles Leclerc is back in front of Pierre Gasly. Leclerc was the only man to start on the medium compound tyres. So yes, he's back in front ahead of Gasly, as Norris now is having a look down the inside into the center S. We're going to keep it tight, and we're going to have the better line coming through through turns 1 and 2 and retain P5 for now. But as we watch George Russell at the end of the straight having a go at Ocon. Go on, George, round the outside. This is the best we've seen of our teammates so far in this season 6, as George takes the inside the next corner and moves up into I think that's P9, as Norris now is having a go at the outside, jumping to lap 63. We're trying to have to defend this harshly. Bottas, I think, is also lurking as well. I think Norris and Bottas are going to be going side by side. We'll get a replay of the move in here, but there we go. Norris tried to go around the outside. He squeezed, shut the door on Norris, and Norris tried to go ahead. Then Bottas tries to dive bomb me while overtaking Norris, and we had absolutely none of it. But now that's released Bottas, the faster car, back in front of Norris. And Bottas has a go around the outside, and there's contact with Bottas. And he's really, I don't know if that was, is this my fault or not? We had a little bit of a moment there as we try to take the racing line to take the next corner. A little bit iffy there from Bottas as we lap one of the Aston Martin cars. That's going to put a bit of breather, but Bottas lost a bit of his front wing, so he's going to be slow. So this is our time to get a move on, and escape from the other cars, the likes of the two Renaults, Norris, and of course our teammate George Russell. And Norris is going to dispatch with Bottas as soon as possible, has DRS and does what he did to Verstappen as Russell defends from Ocon there and managed to get through, and Giovinazzi gets past Bottas a lap later now, and Russell is coming for Bottas. We'll see if Russell can get past Bottas, but so we now take a look for the battle for third place ahead. We've got Kevin Magnussen, who's done an alternative strategy. He started on soft, went to mediums, and is finishing on softs, compared to Vettel, who's done 2 sets of softs and is finishing on mediums. And of course Magnussen is closing in on Vettel, and Vettel looks like he's going to lose a podium in his final his final race for this career mode, and the final time we're going to see Kevin Magnussen, and Magnussen is through onto the podium in his final race of this driver career mode. The final time we're really going to see him, because he's not in the F1 game anymore. But yes, enough about that. What a series this has been then, coming across the line for a fantastic P5.
That's it. What a season. Great work this year, really great work. It's been hard at times, but we've come through.
We have indeed, Jeff, we have indeed. It has been hard throughout this series. Seasons 3 and 4 come to mind, but we've pulled back, winning the championship, as you would have seen in the little montage I put together on Tuesday. But the results then, Leclerc won from Gasly, those two very fast. It's such a shame that Gasly couldn't really get the AlphaTauri, or Gasly couldn't move to a better team earlier on and really challenge Leclerc earlier on in this series as well. Russell getting 9th, Verstappen dreadful, and neither Red Bulls actually getting any points, so that would probably been the end really of Verstappen. A one-time world champion he is in this series, but that's all he's managed to do as well. Unfortunately, Magnussen getting 3rd drops us down to 5th place, but I wasn't really too bothered about it anyway. I wasn't really looking to defend the title. Russell moves up to 16th with those 2 points. You should point out he did actually get points. I forgot he actually got a load of points back in seasons 2 as well.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you? Mated you.
So yes, a little bit moaning about Claire. Basically, I thought we were saying goodbye to her, but it turns out we're not. So she'll be wasting my time in F1 2021. Hopefully wasting less time. But there we go. Here's the results from our journey on screen. Confirmation: George Russell got points in the second race, back in that crazy Vietnamese Grand Prix race all those months ago, last year as well. Of course, Red Bull with 3 victories there, a little bit unexpected at the USA after struggling really, likes of Hungary, Belgium. Season 3 a big struggle, left Red Bull, joined Renault halfway through that season, and really felt the heat from Gasly at the end, and only really managed to hold him off by 3 points, so a bit dismal. Obviously then season 4 until the end, Mexico, was a dismal time again for us, apart from a podium at Bahrain. Then season 5, joining the red team Ferrari, and winning the Drivers' Championship with 5 race wins that season, the majority actually. Season 6, of course, 1 race win for us, P5. I'll definitely take that. But yes, 9. And I just noticed also that I've driven 9,000 miles in this series, so that is quite a lot, I think, as well. I'll leave some of the other stats as well. Obviously there's some things we can improve on. I want to improve on the average. Qualifying is a big thing, but overall despite season 3, apart from season 3 and season 4, I think I've done well throughout this career mode. And yet I'll be back then tomorrow. That's the end of this series. I can't believe that it's gone. It's been such a part of the channel now for a whole year, the first series to actually be a constant part of the channel for so long. If you have enjoyed this series, then smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you, let me know what you think in the comments below, and yes, I'll be back tomorrow with a channel update and details about F1, what I've got planned for F1 2021. But until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.